to get a nuclear weapon, destroy Israel, and destroy the great Satan, which is the United States. Our government is based on one thing: national defense. And what's in the best interest of our national defense is for these fanatics not to have a nuclear weapon where they can wipe us off the map. It has nothing to do with Christian or whatever. It has everything to do with national defense.
And you don't think there's fanatics?
Hold on a second, Jamil, go ahead.
And look, and it is absolutely ethical to act in your own self-defense. It is a matter of international law. It is completely permissible to act in self-defense. And when you see a gathering threat, a nation that has repeatedly called for the destruction of the United States, repeatedly called for the destruction of Israel, has fomented terrorism around the globe for decades. For 4 decades, they've supported Hezbollah, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, you name it, they've backed terrorism. So the idea that we would even consider allowing them to get a nuclear weapon, the idea that the Obama administration would allow them to enrich uranium in their own country, something we wouldn't even allow our own allies to do, is ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is,
you know and I know that it was the United States that initiated the nuclear program in Iran.
A civilian,
in 1957,
the Adams for Peace
1967, under the Shah, after they overthrew a democratic regime, all of a sudden now under the Shah, it's fine, it's fine. We know that apartheid South Africa was looking for a bomb, right? Who helped apartheid South Africa? United States and Israel. When Nelson Mandela came to power, he had to dismantle it. But all of a sudden now apartheid South Africa can have the bomb because United States and Israel say so? No.
Let me play this.
You got to have a morally consistent
Let me play this exchange between the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and Margaret Brennan on Sunday, because she was asking him about what the intelligence really said about whether Iran was actually pursuing a bomb. And just listen to this.
Let me follow up on a phrase you just word, weaponization ambitions. Are you saying there that the United States did not see intelligence that the Supreme Leader had ordered weaponization?
That's irrelevant. I see that question being asked in the media. That's an irrelevant question.
No,
they have
that is
everything
the
they need
key
to build a
point
weapon.
in U.S. intelligence assessments. You know that.
No, it's not.
Yes, it was.
No, it's
that
not.
The political decision had not been made.
I know that better than you know that, and I know that that's not the case.
But I'm asking you whether the order was given.
And the people who say that, it doesn't matter if the order was given. They have everything they need to build nuclear weapons.
I mean, does it matter whether or not they actually were going to do this?
I think it does matter, very much so. And I would agree with Dr. West. As the world as it should be, we should not have nuclear weapons. I agree with you 100%. The world as it is, the President of the United States, I worked for an anti-war president, and I saw, no, he was. He ran against.
How many countries did you bomb the crap out of?
Well, that's what I'm going to say,
Lord
Scott.
have mercy.
But no, like you guys didn't just use bombs for diplomacy.
But
do you want
to put the scorecards up against each other?
I'm
between
happy
bombs
to put
and
up
drones?
scorecards.
You all are the key literally.
I got lots of scorecards.
The continuities at work in both parties.
Both
parties have the continuity. You got the drones killing innocent folk under Democrats and Republicans. You agree with that?
But you do, because the American president's job is to keep the American people safe. And after 9/11, we have given them more and more power to make sure that they can do that. And it has been unilateral. I actually think it would be a very interesting idea for Congress to get involved in, or others, but they've kind of ceded their responsibility because they can't even pass any legislation. So we are in this situation because of design, because we've empowered them to do this.
Look, but we've seen what happens when you get Congress involved. President Obama went to the podium in the White House, said, I've decided as commander-in-chief to strike Syria, to enforce the red line, and then, but I'm going to wait for Congress. And of course, what happened?
Nothing.
They did nothing.
No,
and what did President Obama do? He went up to Russia, made a deal with Russia, and more Syrian civilians died with the use of chemical weapons because we didn't enforce the red line. Everyone around the world saw that. They learned the lesson. America doesn't stand for what it says. Whatever you might think of President Trump, he stepped up, did what he said he was going to do, and took action.
He did, but the women in Iran are not free tonight. There is no freedom for women in Iran.
Woman, life,
when they
freedom,
rose up.
movement, woman, life,
Are you
freedom,
suggesting that we should send American military into Iran to free the women?
Here's what I'm suggesting, Scott.
You're criticizing.
Sometimes this is not about a victory lap for a party, but it's a more complicated situation that we should educate ourselves about the world.
And
if we're talking about a ceasefire and we're popping champagne, which Fox News is doing tonight, I'm sorry, people in Iran are not free. There are plenty of people in Gaza who are not free. There are plenty of people around the world who are not free. I am happy that we're not dropping bombs, but if we want to be the peace president, then we're going to actually have to bring about peace.
Well, let's talk about what should happen to get freedom in Iran, right? The people of Iran now have an opportunity. After that nation's government has been pummeled by Israel, pummeled by the United States. They now have an opportunity to rise up, and we should back them up. The fact of the matter is, when the Green Revolution came around, we didn't back them up.
To be continued. We have more on that conversation coming up next. Donald Trump contradicts his own officials and himself by floating, as we've been discussing, this idea of regime change in Iran, which is obviously a very loaded phrase. We'll debate that. Plus, did the U.S. actually obliterate Iran's nuclear program as Trump is claiming? We'll break down the evidence for and against that next.
I'm very pleased